aftertake. So I don't know if you can hear it, but I got music going from my speaker instead of through Riverside. So maybe you can actually hear me and the music. Um, I don't know. So give me a second. We're going to figure it out because I'm going to do this. Literally, like, give me 10 seconds so I can listen to what it sounds like. You know what? Sounds like y'all probably can't hear it, so that's fine. I'm just going to leave it right there, anyways. So, oh, that made I I just switched to my headphones because Anyways, that was awesome. I loved that interview with Blake Hunt, and I keep wanting to say Austin for some reason. It's probably because I just got done interviewing an Austin, but holy shiitake, that was cool because I need to speak with more people that are in recovery like that, just for the sheer fact that he has an understanding of it that a lot of people don't really get, because for him it was a slow build up to everything, and then it just was. And that's kind of how it happened with me too. Like, listening to his story was very, 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 very similar to mine. It wasn't like, oh, one thing here, one thing here, one thing here, and then this. It was no, it started back in childhood and then culminated all the way up until this point, and then just one day. And it's kind of funny. He had mentioned that he wasn't able to really pinpoint uh, what the change was, but then he actually said he remembered the day where he went for the liquor instead of the coffee. And I heard that. I don't know if he heard that, but it was really, really, really cool because we get to sit there and talk to someone that is doing exactly what I want to do. He is a therapist at the recovery center where he went to rehab. Now, I don't necessarily want to go back to Men and Nehemiah per se, but I do want to be a therapist, and a therapist I shall be. But right now, a podcaster I am. So maybe I'll do both at the same time. That'd be pretty cool. I don't think I'll ever really stop doing this, anyways. If I need to, then I will, but we'll see. And that's one of the things, is that he was talking about life is just crazy. We never know where it's going to go, and that's what he was talking about at the very end. I asked him where he sees himself in about 3 to 5 years while in recovery, and I loved his answer. He was like, I can't really do that with myself in recovery because I might start micromanaging. I might start trying to control everything to get it to that goal. And I was like, that is smart. That is very wise indeed, because that is something that I myself would do, and it's something that I am guilty of. That's probably why I don't set a lot of goals, because I will make damn sure that anything that is in the way gets out of the way for that goal to happen, and it's not pretty. So I kind of just became laissez faire, but then there's laissez faire, and then there's I don't give a damn, and I became I don't give a damn. And so I needed to switch more towards, like, not laissez faire, but more towards what he is. And he's saying, I'm going to have a vision, I'm going to have a dream, I'm going to have an idea of what I want, but I'm not going to have the specifics, I'm not going to have the details. I'm going to let it unfold as it should, as it will. And there's something beautiful in that, because in a sense, there's no going wrong. There's no going wrong. You can't go wrong there. Saying, but some people would say, oh, it's a cop out, but it's really not, because I never saw myself doing this. I never saw myself doing this kind of podcast either. The podcast has changed entirely, and I don't know if it's for the better or not. But that's the thing. In some aspects, it's doing better. In some aspects, it's not. But I can't really figure out how to make it do one thing with whatever. But anyways, back to Blake. He is doing awesome, and I'm so happy for him. I am so grateful for him, everything that he's doing. I'm grateful for the lives that he's impacting right now. I'm grateful for the people that have impacted him because without that, we wouldn't have had this interview. Without that, I wouldn't be talking right now. And I'm grateful that I am right here, right now. And boy, oh boy, did it take a lot to get there. It took, I don't even want to say like how much it took to get where I'm at right now. And that's how Blake is too. But he's talking about it and he is diving into detail and he's doing all this stuff. He's doing the hard things. I've done it and I've done it many times. And one of the things is that the story grows every time. I've heard someone say the story changes, but I don't think the story really changes. I think it grows because as I heal, as I learn, my story develops. It doesn't necessarily get chapters taken away. My perspective changed. And that's kind of what he's also showing right there is that he's in recovery and his perspective is what's changing along the way. And that is what a lot of us really need. And that's why this podcast is going. And his story is what is going to help end the stigma on mental health and addiction. Because so many people think that addiction is a moral dilemma. And as he was highlighting in his story, is that it's not a moral dilemma. Addiction is just addiction. It is a disease of choice. And man, I wish, and that's one thing too, is he was like, I wish we could just like tell people like how it is, kind of thing. Or he was talking about that with people in recovery or early recovery and how they don't see where they could be in a little while. They don't see their potential, and he does, and he's like, no, come on, I'm going to show you anyways. And that's kind of how I am whenever it comes to addiction and mental health. Whenever people demonize it, it's like it's not their choice. No one woke up and said, oh, I want to be bipolar today. No one said, oh, I'm going to be in a mania episode. No one said, oh, I want to have insomnia tonight. No one says that kind of thing, but people end up having that happen all the time. And some people have it acute where it's literally like, oh, hey, it happened and it's gone. It never happens again. Some people have it where it's chronic, where it's literally like 2 weeks, 2 months, or longer, and maybe have a break for what seems like a minute. And then it's right back to normal for them. And addiction is just addiction, it's a disease. I didn't want to do that. And he highlighted something in there. He was talking about drinking to kill himself. Yeah, I was there. I did it a lot and I woke up every damn time. Part of me is still like, damn, and part of me is like, thank goodness I did wake up. The part of me that went, damn, is kind of I'm going to be addressing that part of me eventually. Well, not eventually. I'm going to be addressing that part of me right after I'm done with this because where did that come from? But there's the thing. I can laugh at that now. Sometimes. Some days it's easier, some days it's not. And that's what Blake was also highlighting. Not everything is going to be easy peasy, hunky dory, okay all the time. And there's cycles, ups and downs in recovery, in addiction, and just life in general. And that's one thing that we're going to have to learn to do. And he talked about it is adapt. And as we're going to have more stories and everything come along, we're going to have to adapt more as a society because, damn, yeah, there's a lot coming this way. And I feel like the podcast is about to get hit with something. I don't know what. Oh, wait, that's right. I do have news. I do have news. So, there's a station that the show will be put on soon. But, anyways, aside from that, that's all you get. And that is all that I'm going to do with this after take with Blake. So if you want to check that out, go over to YouTube, go over to Facebook. I didn't put music on this time, so you're not going to hear all weird little mouth stuff, you know. So, anyways, Sorry I had to do that, but you're going to hear a crisper voice from him and I. So you're not going to hear it like it's underwater. So with that, go ahead and check it out. Go check out. Uh, I already forgot the website because it's super simple. BlakeHuntRecovery.com. It's so simple I didn't want to mess it up. So we can't get much more simple than that. Go check it out. Check out retrievingsanity.com. And until next time, y'all have a good one. I'll see you later. Sean.